Hi, Julie Torrance here. So this is the watercolor we did last time. So that's one video back. And I want to do something similar, different flowers and a different orientation. So I've got us in a portrait orientation. I have the same piece of paper that I had last time. I just tore the edge of a piece of printer paper. This is my Amazon Basics watercolor paper. So I'm going to just tape this on because I don't want splashes at the bottom. I just think that the extra white is better, but obviously I can't washi tape like all this edge. So I'm just going to put some washi tape here and there. And, you know, if some creeps underneath, we're not going to worry about it. We're not going to worry about it at all. All right, well, let's get started. I've got my two water sources. Last time I just used this number 6 Princeton Snap, and probably going to do the same. I've got my Rosa Gallery paints. And let's get started. This is easy, and you're going to enjoy it. If you didn't see the first video, you're fine with this video. All right, first thing, wet my brush, dab on a paper towel, and I'm going to start like I did last time with just some leaves. And last time I made them yellow, so I'll go with yellow again. And I almost put my brush in my coffee. And I've got a little bit of yellow. I know that I can't show you, you know, all the trays and things because I pull you in as close as I can. All right, so I'm just going to make some leaves. Very simple. Can you see how I did that? Just went up and come back. And that's it. A leaf on a stem. And we're not looking for any perfection, that's for sure. We just want to have fun. I'm going to hold my brush back a little bit because I just want to have, I want a loose look. I don't want it to look all tight. Good. A little bit more. Okay, I think that's a good start. I'm going to take a little bit of blue, and I've got this over here, and this color is called bright blue, but I've watered it down quite a bit, and I'm watering it down again. And I'm just going to add some more, just on the edges. Well, if you hear a noise, that's my printer. Just going through some of its own little things that it does. Updates or whatever. Okay. I'm just going to add a couple of these. All right, good. Now we're going to do our dot flowers. What do you think of that? I want to start light and work my way towards a little bit darker. So I'm going to go back into that same yellow that I just started out using. And I'm putting it on my palette here. A little water. I want it watery. I'm going to do dot. Rinse my brush. Dry it off on my paper towel. And let's make some leaves or petals. Just teardrop shapes. Nice. And while it's wet, I'm going to go into this color that I have that's called yellow ochre. It's just a darker yellow. And I'm just going to put some right at the base. Okay. Can you see? I hope so. All right. Do it again. dot, dot, dot. Rinse my brush off on the paper towel. Teardrop, teardrop, teardrop. And where I already put some leaves and I don't know, sticks and stems, I'm just ignoring them. I am totally ignoring them. Back into the ochre, didn't even rinse my brush. And just put a little bit at the base. Nice. Okay. One more. A little bit smaller maybe. It's looking like a lot of yellow. Don't worry. We're going to jazz it up. And just 3 teardrop shapes. And these are just fantasy flowers. Yellow ochre. There. Okay. I think I'm good to go ahead with the second row, like on these. Let's give it a go. If it all blurs together, my brush is too wet. Get a little more color. A little bit more water. All right. In between, dot, dot, dot. Rinse my brush. Dab, dab, dry. Very nice. Yellow ochre. All right. Rinse my brush. Looks like I got, I wonder if that's the yellow ochre. Probably was. All right. Back into the yellow. It feels too dry. Because I want it to make, I want those dots to be a little bit like puddles. 1, 2, 3. Rinse. And dry my brush off on the paper towel. All right, little yellow ochre right at the bottom. Nice. Okay. This one I'm going to make a little bit more like a half flower. So I'm going to go into the same yellow. I'm just going to put a dot here and a dot here. And we're just going to leave a space. We'll figure out what to do with it in a minute. I'm going to add just a little more pigment. All right, yellow ochre. All right, good. Okay, I'm going into the orange. Mine is called Flame Red. And I've already kind of got an orange spot here on my tray. Add a little more orange. And now some water. Ugh, I was afraid I was going to drop right onto my paper, which wouldn't hurt, but I like to have it a little bit controlled. All right, here we go. Dot, dot, dot. Rinse. This is going to be a lot of, too much water. This is going to be a little bit of repetition, but for one thing, it's good practice. And this is the reality. All right. Now I'm going straight into the red flame, it's called. And I'm just going to put some right at the base. Okay. And I hope you're picking out colors you like. Doesn't have to be orange and yellow. I've got water on the ferrule. If you get water on here, it'll eventually roll down and flood your work. Okay, let's do one here. 1, 2, 3. Rinse and dab it off and fill in some teardrop shapes. And yep, I'm going right over the other flower. That's how flowers grow, all over each other. Going into the full strength color. I'm just putting some right near the center. All right. Instead of another flower, I'm just going to put 2 dots, and I'm going to make just a one petal shape. And I'm going to go into my pure pigment here, and at the bottom, I'm going to add, which is the top, of these, but down here, and this is going to be a bud. All right, good. Okay, I'm going back to this one. I need to add some more pigment to my space here, and a little more water. All right, dot, dot, dot. Rinsed my brush and then dab, dab on the paper towel. And now I'm moving this around. Good. Pure pigment right into the little plate of pigment. And right here. Good. Grabbing up orange, dot, dot, dot. Rinse. Dried my brush off on the paper towel. And when I say dry, I'm giving it a few dabs. I am not grabbing the paper towel and squeezing the brush dry like an old washcloth. No. Just getting the liquid. Putting a little of that pigment right in the middle. All right. I think that's good. Okay, now, I think these are going to need another dose, but we are going to go into the purple. I've got still some purple left over from the video before right there. My purple, it's called violet, is very dark. So I water it down quite a bit. And I let the white paper lighten it up. I'm going to make some of those flowers that we made in the previous video. And it's not hard, and I'll show you how we did it. Just a U shape like that, and kind of like that. That's one way to do it. I'll show you another way. You can just make a shape like that, put a smaller one inside, and then just kind of fill it in. Yep. Make them different. Flowers do not grow just all identical. Little cup. Nice. All right. Couple more. Where's the purple? It's over here. Okay, now I think I'm going to just make some little dots. They can be like little buds. Good. All right, now back to the yellow. So I'm going back into that original yellow, putting it on the tray, and I'm just doing the same thing I did before. I'm going to go in between. Yep. And these are going to overlap. If the color looks different to you, it's probably because of shifting. As they dry, the color does shift a little bit, and that's totally normal. Okay, into that yellow ochre. Little at the base. Little more color. Good. All right, let's get some dots going here. Dot, 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 dot. Rinse, dry my brush off. These are dry enough, the first set, that they're not going to move a whole lot. I need a little more pigment. That dot was a little dry. Need a little more. A little more water. Okay. That's more like it. Okay. Get some of that yellow ochre. Am I getting all the spots? I think so. All right. And now this one. Just added a tiny bit more pigment and water. And here, here, here. Just 3. Boy, I seem to be shy of pigment. And if you are, just grab some more. Good. Ochre. Okay. Looking good. Excuse me. Alrighty. Let's go with these orange ones. Adding a little more pigment. We haven't done any dry time yet. Nope. We're just working at a pace that we don't need to. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I dried my brush. And I'm putting these petals, you know, kind of in between. Did I get them all? Okay, going into the orange pigment, just with the very tip of my brush. I don't even know where to go, so I'm just going everywhere. Okay. This one. A little more water. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Rinse. Dry my brush off. Going in between the petals. Okay, I'm liking that. What do you think? I'm going to get a little bit of that orange and just right around the middle. Okay, now the purple ones. And I need to get a little bit more of that color they call violet. And we're going to do a second layer on our purple flowers. And I'll show you how that goes. I'm just going to make teardrops and I'm going to end them right there. So what I could do is I could put like 2 dots, rinse, dry, and now just like that. Nice. Get a little more pigment. Dry. Can you see that big? There's a big bubble of water there. This needs a little more pigment. Nice. I'm just going to be putting my teardrops in. But you can still put your dots. Kind of going in between. And I'm going to put one way out here like this. Very, very easy. We are just enjoying ourselves. And I'm just putting a little mark at the top of all those dots. There. I'm liking it. Yes, I am. Okay. Now, I think I need something purple over here. Don't you? All right. Grab some of that purple. Make a little cup shape. I'm going right over, but I know that yellow's dry. Okay, that needs to dry. What are you thinking? I'm thinking I like it. Okay, now we've got this in place. I am going to grab some yellow. The yellow that I've been using. And I'm just going to give it some splats. Not a lot. All right. I am going to do the same with the orange. Nice. I'm going to wait on the purple. Yep. Okay, I'm going to work on these centers. I am going into a color in my kit that's called Burnt Sienna. It's kind of a reddish brown. And I'm going to get the water right off of the ferrule. And I'm just doing dots in the middle. Nice. No more water. Little water, just at the tip. And again, just a little bit of color at the tip. Yes, I'm liking that very, very much. Very good. How are these? Pretty darn dry. I'm going into the purple and I'm going to put another layer on those. A little bit more purple. Or violet it's called. I think this was the first one I did. And I'm just making some little teardrop shapes. Okay, looking good, looking good. Now, I'm going to take a smaller brush. This is, I call it a Twiggy liner brush is a common name for it. I'm going into that burnt sienna that I was just using in that flower center. I'm going to put it on my palette. I know you probably can't see it, but I want to water it down a little bit. But you can take the smallest brush you have and just use the tip. I am going to get a little bit of outlining going on here. And you could even use colored pencils, or, you know, if you just don't feel confident, a regular pencil. And I am just loosely, very loosely, giving that a little outline. Kind of picking out some of the petals that look to me to be on top first. What are you thinking? You okay with this? You like it? You gonna try? Sure you are. Of course you are. I think this could be a really pretty artist trading card, or you could cut your watercolor paper into a tag shape. Sure could. Yes, I like that. I am going into that orange. Let me just show you. This is all that orange I've been playing with. I'm going to wet it down. And I just want to make it slightly darker. So I'm going to go into that burnt sienna that I was just using, because it's kind of a red-brown. There. And I'm grabbing that same little brush, and I'm going to do a little bit of outlining on the red flowers. And I am not going for exact. I can see the little splatters here and there. I love it. Good. You can see how fast I'm going. And it's not because I'm so good at it. It's because I want it to be fast. I want it to be loose. I don't want to have it look tight. I like a loose floral. You know, in nature there's wind, there's rain, there's animals, there's, you know, the rabbit's going to come through and see which ones it wants. The deer's going to come through. That's the kind of flower I want. There. Okay, I'm liking that. Now the purple ones. I am going to go into that purple. I can use the skinny brush because it sure doesn't take much. And to it, I'm going to add a little touch of indigo. A little more. All right. All I'm going to do on these little purple ones is I'm going to make some lines like that. Just little lines at the bottom. It doesn't have anything to do with where I've seen petals. And I'm putting some on those dots. I'm just putting some lines in the shape of the flowers. I like this indigo color. I'm going to start adding some stems. And stems do not have to be green. All right. Now I'm going into that color that's called bright blue. And I'm just putting some of that on my tray. But that's the color I used here. So I want to repeat that. I've got water. I want to repeat that. Good. I'm liking these stems. I like what it's adding to the whole feel. You see my brush take a twist? Funny. It's getting too dry, that's why. Which one of these? Bright blue? Yeah, okay. Where was I? Any clue? Did I get all the purple ones? I think so. That one way up there, I think that's supposed to be this one. Okay. Now, like this one doesn't have a stem. I'm going rogue and I'm going green. I found out in the first one that I really wasn't too... I felt like something was missing. It didn't feel complete. And I think it was because there was just no green. And I want some green. Now, this bud. I'm just making it quite similar to the purple flowers. And there. Yep. And now I'm going to take this green and I'm going down here. And I'm just going to add some twigs or something. Grass. Nice. All right. Now I'm going to go back to my brush, my main brush. I am going into the purple, which now has a little indigo in it, which is fine. I'm going to put my hand here because I just more want this on the edge. There. Little here. Okay. I'm going to grab some of that green. And I think I'll do the same. A little bit more towards the edge. Now a little everywhere. All right. I think it looks good. Should we see what we got? First, I'm going to take this off. And good. I'm going to do the same thing I did with the other one. I'm going to bring it down just a little. Just a little. Going in with the green. And finding some of my green ones. All right. Gonna take my bigger brush, number 6, going into that yellow, the same yellow that I used, and I'm just gonna lengthen some of these. I'm gonna grab that little brush again, the purple. I've got some of that. That's it. Oh, I'm gonna add a few of these. And I'm just gonna grab my bigger brush and that blue. Boy, it's just There just wasn't quite any pigment going on there. Nice. Okay. I am liking it. All right. I'm going to set my paints aside. Sorry, that took a minute longer than it should have. And let's get this off. See what we've got going on. I know I'm probably blocking because I've got you so close. There's really not a good place to put my hands. And the great reveal, huh? Okay. Stuck to my hand. Okay, there we go. What do you think? Do you like it? I do. I really like it. This was easy. It was fun. I hope you like it. The sun is starting to move in on us. Well, thank you for hanging in there for the whole video. Please, if you liked it or found it inspirational, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, well, today's the day. Hit the subscribe, and down here, I will see you in another video. See you over there.